What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Alright guys, so this is the 11th. I literally asked. What are you laughing at?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hi guys.
You done now? Right. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the 11th edition Armageddon box set. I just got it in there, so I'm gonna crack it open and get a look at it. So you get the Operation Imperator, the story of the raging war for Armageddon, get core rules, chapter approved mission deck, which will probably be outdated before I get a game, the Dominatus campaign deck, 17 data sheet cards, and a transfer sheet. And then we get 61 miniatures, captain with a relic shield, a chaplain with a jump pack, librarian, an ancient, 10 intercessors, 5 vanguard veterans with jump packs, 3 eradicators with heavy bolters, and then a land speeder. I am not building the orc half. I'll probably move it on. I've no interest in actually building them because I don't need more models as I buy more models. But I will be trying to get these built and painted up to try and actually get games of 11th in pretty soon. So I'm gonna cut the tape off and let's have a look what's inside. Okay guys, so this is the 4th sprue I'm after taking out. I thought it was like done as if it was a HQ model with like one character, but it's actually not the case, because you can see here we have the Ancient's banner, we've half a jump pack, we've the back of the jump pack, we've Eradicator backpacks, we've the Crozius. This one here seems to make up a lot of the Eradicators. So we have the 2 heavy bolters there. Here's the Tord. We've got halves of Eradicators spread around. That's the chaplain's torso, judging by the kind of bone armature around the chest area. I'll take some pictures of these on a nice flat background so it's not too messy and too hard to see. And I've absolutely no idea what's going to be what here now in the orcs. Then you got tracks and stuff there, which I'm presuming is off the war trike thing. There's some handlebars, what looks like the front of the bike. Like there's different armor panels there. It's nice that they left the bottom of the wheel flat so it's easier to glue onto the base. I think this might be part of the war boss knob with the big axe, judging by the size on here. I could be wrong. Nice beaky helmet on the trophy pole there. That's 2 sprues in. So the weird boy got his own sprue by the looks of it. So you've got a big rocky outcropping with some orky toes. And then all his doodads are just flying all over the place. And his head. He's a pretty nice model in fairness. But I don't need to worry about him, thankfully. And then, okay, so this is the war boss here, who's on his own sprue. And so is the captain. The captain's cloak is pretty nice. Oh, you get 3 head options for the captain. So you get the ninja on head, you get a crested helmet, and then you get an old school helmet, which is strange. You got his front tabard, which just has a little blood. Oh no, it's not actually blood angel, it's just a nice scabbard. Interesting. They probably kept all the blood angels iconography off these guys and just left it to the decals. Okay. This is an orc sprue, so there's the orc banner. There's a GW paint pot just to show you how big this is. It's actually huge. Got some grots and stuff there in the background. I thought that was a grot. I actually think that's a boy. That's some kind of, oh, that could be the paint boy. Looks like a surgeon tool there. There was a grot. I knew I seen a grot somewhere. I think that's the grot orderly. Okay, so next sprue here. I'm seeing lots of jump packs on this sprue. We have some of the Vanguard veteran close combat weapons, so that's the power sword. Oh yeah, because the jump packs are off the Vanguard veterans. There's no assault marines in this one. And then it's weird the way they've done it. So this looks like it makes up a lot of the. Okay, so this is making up the Vanguards, right? I'm gonna stop making assumptions here. So we have the parts for the librarian are over here. You got his force staff, his torso. What I imagine is his base. And there's his back, the back of his cloak there, with his psychic hood. And then the Land Raider seems to be one whole sprue. Okay, so the base is this rock with a little bit of smoke up to the kind of grav nodule. And I don't know how sturdy that's going to be. Depends how heavy the land speeder is, I suppose. The design looks pretty similar to what land speeders used to be. I don't understand what this is about because it looks like he's firing a melta bomb. I'm going to presume that's some sort of attachment for the side of the melta gun. You have the onslaught Gatling cannon, you have the underslung heavy flamer, so that must be underslung as well. So the multi-melt is the pinto mounted weapon, and then he has rockets as well, which I presume go under the wings or something. You have the two seats, and you're going to have to glue the sides of this onto the sides armour of the land speeder onto the bottom chassis and try and build it up from there. So I'm sure there's going to be some gaps that are going to need filling in that. If you remember building the old school ones, it was pretty much like that. Standard intercessor sprue. I don't think there's nothing major on this. Maybe just a couple of the older style Space Marine helmets and some rib shoulder pads, but other than that I don't think there's nothing worthwhile calling out on this. And then we have what looks like two identical sprues. Yeah, two identical sprues of orcs. So you just have your boys here, all the different weapons. You got the grot with the revolver. Got another grot there. I don't know how many grots you get in this. I didn't read the orc side of the box. There's lots of stuff on that, so you get two of them anyway. They'll be going to a better home than here. I'm assuming that's off the land speeder. And then this is probably the base off this Redemptor Dreadnought scaled orc walker shooter beluga thing. Like, look at the rocket rack here. You just got big bolter sized shells going everywhere. Got a little banner there with the orc mech symbol on top of it. There's just lots of doodads and stuff everywhere. Oh shit, there's a mech that's driving it, isn't it? That's why this guy has a radio antenna built into the side of his head. Okay, I'll take some pictures of them and you can throw them in and you can have a look. That's another base, probably off the bike. Oh, so this is a box. Okay. Transfer sheet. Let's see, we got Blood Angels, Ultramarines, Salamanders, Crimson Fists, White Scars. And then for the orcs you have Goths, Evil Sons and Bad Moons. So they're not giving that away here the way they done in the last one where they had Raptors on the transfer sheet. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So because I didn't read it out earlier, you get a war boss, a big boss, a banner knob, a pain boy and grot orderly, a weird boy. So that's what, 1, 2, 5 characters. In the orcs you get 20 boys, 10 Gretchen, a war track, and then the Redemptor Dreadnought scale thing I was talking about is the big mech Dakar rig. So yeah, I am not building that orc stuff. And then just to have a quick look in here and see what the crack is. So let's stick it up, and I have buried my knife. so that's just cardboard spacers, so there's no biggie there. Okay, so we have Operation Parador is a hardback book. We have an instruction manual. We have a bite-sized rule book, which is nice. A piece of sprue that got away. I presume these are the data sheets. And then we have 2 sets of cards. So you have the Dominatus cards, which is a hefty enough box. And then the chapter approved mission deck. That's it in that one. So Core Rules is like a little Marvel comic. That's a nice Blood Angel stuff there. It's some Deck Company Repulsor, and a Storm Raven. Okay, so that's your rule book there. Seems nice and easy. I'm sure they'll bring out a hardback one which has like lore and stuff in it, so it's nice and big. Seems pretty well laid out. Scan the code below to get started with the app. Okay, and then there's an index at the end. Right. Instructions. I'm sure this is pretty straightforward. Decide the fate of a hive city. So this is kind of like what they done. I think it was going into 8th edition, where there was a big like world campaign and every game was tracked and all in it and changed the outcome. So that's basically what you're getting with your Blood Angels, which isn't bad, I suppose. Lots of stuff in there to paint, and then there's your Orky one. All your characters and your Daka rig. They didn't squeeze in the picture of the War Trike there, which is weird. But everything for the Blood Angels fits because they're clearly better. Okay. Operation Parador then. Fireways. Okay, so this is like the lore book. I presume this is some sort of map. Yeah. There we go, look at that. Probably won't be able to fit it all in. That's a pretty big map. And for the next 3 to 4 weeks until I get this stuff painted, this has got, maybe not, I was going to say it's going to be foiled under useless, but it has all Blood Angels company markings there. Prince of Fists, Salamanders, Ultramarines. So this is like how many chapters are in the, how many different Space Marine chapters are in the Battle for Armageddon. And there's some nice pictures there just for painting reference. Same with the Orcs then, just a few different colour schemes of them. Some of these pages have a weird texture on them. Some of them feel like they're porous or something, and some of them are glossy. Marines Malevolent, with some white scars painted up there as well, which is nice. Yeah, so this is just all the lore and stuff. Yeah, of course, I was going to say they had to sneak Ultramarines in with their Crimson Fists, so I'll take that back. Yeah, there's loads in that, but yeah, like I said, not going to be looking at that too much. And then data cards, and a quick look at these. I think that's all of them. So Captain with Relic Shield. Does it have points or anything on it? No. Close Quarters. I'm going to have to learn what all these new rules are and stuff. Apparently Psychic is meant to be very good in this game, so I wonder if they'll give us back a Blood Angels Dreadnought, Librarian Dreadnought. And Speeder. Heavy Flamer, Multi-Melta, Onslaught Gatling Cannon, and a Storm Fury Missile Launcher. And then the Orc ones there, Big Boss, War Boss, Banner Knob, oh, so it's a knob that has the banner, Pain Boy, Weird Boy, Boys, Gretchen, War Track, and the Big Mech Daka rig. I don't think any of them had that on the back other than the symbols. They made that red, but they used like a generic Imperial symbol instead of just giving it Blood Angels, and I'm not sure if that's a generic orc one or if that's a specific clan. Chapter approved. Holy Jesus. Wait, I'm not taking them out. I'm not getting into all that now. And Dominatus. I'll have to look into the rules and stuff on them before I even go near them. But that's everything that's in the box. I'm going to go and start building some Blood Angels and we'll come back and have a look in a little bit. Okay, so first sprue we're looking at here is the banner bearer. You can see the flag and stuff there. We've got bits of the chaplain and some of the heavy bolter eradicators. On to the second sprue then, we have the tactical marines. No, they're not tactical marines. The intercessors. So 2 sprues of intercessors. Now they're bolt rifles, different poses, chain swords, helmets, all that jazz. The Landspeeder, pretty cool kit in fairness, very reminiscent of the old one. Sprue number 4, we have Vanguard Veterans and the Librarian. I think that's all that's on this one, if I'm not mistaken. But the parts are all intermingled between each other, so you can see like the Librarian stone is up the top of the sprue and the cape is down the bottom, so it's a bit hectic. So this sprue is the Captain and the Orc War Boss, I believe. It's a pretty cool model in fairness, but we're Space Marines, we love the Captain. The Orc Weird Boy gets a sprue on his own. You can see his little toe sticking out on the rock there. The War Trike, or whatever it's called, the tracked Orc tricycle machine. A couple of big orky dudes. I think the Pain Boy's in here, and the banner bearer because the orcs needed one because the Space Marines have one. Yeah, a load of orc boys. Lots and lots and lots of orc boys. I think there's a couple of bits of Gretchen in this sprue as well. Nearly sure that's a duplicate of the sprue, as in there's 2 sprues of it. And then you have the Mega Daka Gig Drig thing. Anyway, I don't know. Alright, so this is my Armageddon Marines box all built up. So the chaplain has, I think it's a Grey Tide Studio backpack that I printed up. I had 5 of them printed, didn't have a 6th, so I put one on the sergeant for the Vanguard vets and one on the chaplain. The captain has a shield, I think it could be from Grey Tide Studios as well, printed up. And then I actually bought Dead Company proxy helmets ages ago when I got 3D printers, so maybe 3-4 years ago, and I printed them up. So I've put them onto sergeants and all of the Vanguard veterans, and I gave the Librarian, I think it's like a Mark V helmet with all the studs in it, so it looks real mean and aggressive. And for the Vanguard veterans, I'm going to paint them gold and put the red stripe across the front of it just to break it up a bit and do something different. So it's nothing fancy. And build time, it took me 3 hours, 53 minutes and 48 seconds of build time. But don't forget, some of that was gluing and putting 3D printed parts onto plastic, so there was super glue, and then there was gluing issues where it would take a little bit longer to dry and stuff. So that's how long it took me, and I did put a lot of cork on the bases as well, which was included in that. So with them all built, here's a quick clip of me priming. Bop, 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 bop.